Absolutely disgusting. Look what we've got here. Steep, black run, hasn't been pisted, it's icy and it's covered in moguls. I'm doing this for you guys. I normally wouldn't ever ride a run like this. You wouldn't choose to, but in some places and some resorts, you get stuck on these runs and you've got to get down them. So I'm going to take you down it. I'll talk you through it a bit as I'm doing it as well. But basically the type of turn that I want to employ is called a terrain unweighted turn, which is essentially a down unweighted turn, but it's getting the timing of the down unweighted movement over the mogul. As I'm coming across, I'll probably just start on a traverse. I'll keep my knees really soft, get them warmed up a little bit, get them used to absorbing the moguls. But where I want to make my turn, I really want to suck my legs up over the mogul. So this would be the down unweighted part of a down unweighted turn. If this is all sounding a bit confusing, check out this video up here, which is on down unweighted turns. But essentially, I make the down unweighted movement over the top of the mogul and then extend my legs back out through the turn after the mogul. So the edge change kind of happens at the high point on the mogul, and then I push my legs out after that onto my new edge. Again, keeping my knees nice and soft so I don't get bucked around. And you know, I'm going to be looking around as well. I'm going to be picking my spots. I'll be like, okay, this bit looks terrible, super icy, I'm not going to turn there. So, you know, keep your head up as well. You know, think where you're going to be making your next turn, and you know, if it looks like horrible or slightly less horrible, which is about as good as this run is going to get. Oh dear, here we go. Dropping in, I'm just getting a feel for the snow before I make my first turn, so I know how much grip I can achieve in these icy conditions. You can see my legs really working underneath me to absorb all these moguls. That allows my upper body, my centre of mass, to glide as smoothly as possible over the top. In this next turn, watch me get down nice and low as I change edge over the top of the mogul, and then I want to pause it right here. You can see that as I come over the top of the mogul, I need to get my board to match the angle of the slope. This means I really need to shift my weight forwards to the nose of the board. So much so, in fact, that it's actually caused the back end of the board, which you can see there, to fully lift up off the snow. Because I got my weight forward, that means I can quickly pivot the board around my front foot, and then when I come onto my toe edge, I can easily centre my weight between my feet, allowing me to quickly find grip on my edge and then begin to look for my next turn, which I'm going to slow down because I do something bad here. You can see I kick my back foot out to make the board come around quicker, which it does, but in doing so it pushes me into a skid. Now I'm fighting for grip, which I don't get until about here. I throw in a couple of speed checks whilst looking where to make my next turn, which is much better. You can see my board comes round in a smooth arc and takes me right past that big icy mogul there. Straight into my next turn, it's pretty icy, and then bam, let me pause it right there. This is the same point in the turn where I paused it before, but see if you can spot the difference. Basically, I haven't managed to get enough weight forward over the nose of my board. If you look at my back knee, it's really bent, whilst my front leg is almost completely straight. And that's going to cause problems in a minute. As I complete the turn, too much weight on the back foot means I lose grip on the toe edge, and there you can see the board starts to skid out. Recompose myself, sort my posture out, and drop down low to make a quick edge change. Again, my knees working underneath me to absorb these icy bumps. Take it slow, head up, and just look for that next turn. Now I'm using my upper body to create the rotation needed to quickly pull me around in a tight turn. As I traverse across, you can see my shoulders are in line with the board, but then as I go for the turn, I'll just let my front shoulder open up and pull me around. Now that's an important move for achieving tight turns, which I've broken down right here in this video. Now whilst the slope wasn't particularly enjoyable, sometimes conditions like this are unavoidable. And if you have to ride it, it's good to have a plan in your head of how you want to ride it. Now, You saw the plan doesn't always play out as expected, but rather than just blaming the conditions, you can really learn from your mistakes. Bad habits that show up in this terrain are probably present in your daily riding, only it can take a horrible slope like this to highlight them. So now moving forward, I need to make sure I get my weight over my front foot as I change from heels to toe, and as I switch back onto my heel edge, I mustn't be rushing the start of the turn by pushing my back leg out. There you have it. That was probably some of the worst conditions I rode all season. Icy, uneven, steep moguls are never fun, but embrace the challenge and you can really improve your riding. This run is called Balcons and it's here in Alpe where I live and work. And you can see now the final piece of punishment that this slope has in store for us is that to actually get back to the next piste, you have quite a lengthy skate on the flat as well. So it's really just for those guys, those of you that want a bit of punishment. That was absolutely terrible. Thanks for watching. Let me know the worst run you've ever done. And as always, if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button.